I already know about half of you guys are not going to be happy with me by the end of this video because I am ranking every single 5th tier tower in Bloons Battles 2 from best to worst on a tier list. So without further ado, let's hop right into it, guys. Alright, here we go, guys. We have every 5th tier tower in the game on this list. I hope so, because I looked up in the tier list maker or whatever, all the 5th tier towers Bloons Battles 2, and it seems like it probably is everyone. So, we are going to get into it. Now, I haven't played with every tower in the game too much, but I think I still have a decent knowledge on every tower in the game, especially like the towers that are used a lot, so I think I'll be pretty good at this, I hope. And looks like the first one is BMA, Bloon Master Alchemist. This is the bottom 5th tier upgrade on the Alchemist, and it can insta-kill ZOMGs into red balloons, same thing with like DDTs and stuff. It has a slow fire rate, but it's honestly, I don't see it being used too much with Alchemist loadouts, such as like Ninja Heli Alchemist. It is used sometimes with boat Alchs packs, so I don't think it's super good, but I still think it's decent. I'll move it later probably, but I'm gonna place it at B so far. Place at B. Monkey Wall Street. Okay, this is an interesting one. Monkey Wall Street definitely 100% would have been S tier before the balance changes. However, in the balance changes, it was added $5,000 more expensive. So, because of that, it's definitely got to be moved. I still think it's an extremely good upgrade. Farm is one of the best towers in the game, so I'm going to put it A. But it would have been like S+. It would have been S+ beforehand. Bomb Blitz, I never really see people using Bomb Blitz with Bomb. All other upgrades are pretty good, but Bomb Blitz kind of falls off in my opinion. I know like it has a passive ability where if you leak, like you destroy all the BFBs and stuff, but how likelihood is it? What's the likelihood you're gonna leak but not die to the balloon you leak? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the passive ability is like never gonna be used. I'll put it at C for now. I'll put C. Ooh, this is Moab Domination. It's the bottom path 5th tier on the Boomerang. Now the thing about the Boomerang, guys, is with the Boomerang, pretty much all the 5th tiers are somewhat useless. If you have Boomerang in your loadout, you're pretty much not going to use the 5th tier upgrade. You're not going to use the this one, Moab Domination. You're not going to use Permacharge very often, and you're not going to use what's it called? Glaive Lord pretty often. So all of them are pretty bad, and especially this one. I'm definitely going to put this one in my F tier. First F tier on the table. We got Bez Balloon Exclusion Zone. Definitely a good 5th tier tower. It's definitely gets outclassed by the Mad for Dartling 5th tiers, but I still think it's pretty good 5th tier. Like, I see a lot of people still build this up with Dartling Ninja Farm in their loadout. They don't really build up the Ray of Doom, but they'll build up a Bez, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be an A or B tier. It's definitely gonna be an A or B tier. I'm gonna put it as B tier so far, but I might move it to A later. Crossbow Master, with Dart, really the only 5th tier people go for. I guess they sometimes go for the U-Jug, and they definitely go for Plasma Monkey Fan Club. Crossbow Master kind of gets outclassed by both of them. I mean, it can be somewhat useful sometimes for defending like all-out ZMGs or something, right? If you can't afford a Plasma Monkey Fan Club and stuff. But I still don't think it's that great. I'm gonna put it D tier. I'm gonna put D tier. Avatar of Wrath. Ooh. Avatar of Wrath is really good, guys, because you can get it with all the populous buffs, and the way it works is the more balloons that are on the screen, the more damage it does. So that helps Druid a ton at defending like all-out BD rushes because there's a bunch of BDs on the screen, and this just has really insane popping power. So I'm definitely putting Avatar of Wrath as A tier, I think. Not S tier. I think it's an A tier. Triple XL Trap. Triple XL Trap, when it first came out, 100% S tier plus, you know what I'm saying? It had pretty much instant collection. It gave you 7,000 per trap, but now it has a cooldown on collection and gives you 5,000 per trap. Still really good upgrade, and it's one reason why Dartling and Heli is pretty good, because it's good cleanup for BAD rushes. But it's already had its day, I think. I think it's A or B tier. It's A or B tier. I'm gonna put A tier still. I'm gonna put A tier. What is this? Is this Super Glue? Super Glue is probably, so with Glue you have the top path, which is the Bloon Liquefy or whatever. You have Super Glue, and you have Glue Strike or Glue Storm or whatever it's called. Super Glue is definitely the best out of those three, I'd say. It's probably the cheapest, like the cheapest well, it's not a perma-stall, but it's a really good stall. It's a really cheap option for that as well. I'd say this is kind of like the silver lining with Glue. This is one of the best upgrades of it. I still don't think it's as good as these A tier upgrades, but I'd say it's a B tier. I'd say Super Glue is definitely a B tier upgrade. This is a pretty solid upgrade. What is this? Comanche Defense. I'll be honest, guys, I've like never used this upgrade before. So I don't really know much about it. I guess I've used it a few times. I've gone Heli Ice Village as my loadout because you want to get your 5th tier Helis on the map. But besides that, I just don't really know too much about Comanche Defense here. I think Apache Prime definitely outclasses it, but I still think it's probably decent. It's got the stall, the Helis as well stall, they have the Mob Shove ability, I'm pretty sure, so that also helps. as a C tier at the moment. I don't know. This might be moved later. I just don't have much knowledge on the tower, guys. I don't have much knowledge on the tower. It's a problem. Flying Fortress. Oh, this is a flaming pile of garbage. Flying Fortress. I'm sorry for all my ace lovers out here. This upgrade's terrible. It's like $100,000 and it does nothing. This is 100% F tier. Might be like the worst upgrade in the game. One of the worst for sure. We got Icicle Impale here. Okay, Icicle Impale. Fantastic upgrade for the Ice Tower. It gives you really good DDT popping power. Pretty strong, really strong slow. It's good against ZMGs. It can stun them. It's used in Tack Ice Village. It's used in Tack Ice. It's used probably in all ice loadouts. Heli Ace Village. I'd say Icicle Impale is definitely... Is it as good as Super Glue though? It has camo detection built in and it does more damage. So I think Icicle, even though it's more expensive, I still think it's better than Super Glue. So I'm going to put it A tier for now. Trade Empire. I've barely used Trade Empire. It would be good. Trade Empire with a bunch of merchantmen and then favorite trades is actually extremely efficient farming, guys. But the problem with it in battles too is the fact that maps don't allow for enough water space to make full effect of it. Because the way Trade Empire farming works is every additional merchantman you place on the map basically gives you a increasing efficiency for the Trade Empire. So it's not really efficient until you get a ton of merchantmen on the map, and you can't really do that on like any maps besides like Star, I think. So I don't even know how many you can place on Star. I'm probably gonna put a D tier here. I've only used this upgrade a few times, and I don't think it's good because you can't fit very many merchantmen. Sub Commander. I barely see Sub Commander being used, to be honest with you. Even in loadouts like Druid Sub Ice, people don't use this upgrade. And there's a lot of sub loadouts people use, and no one ever gets Sub Commander up, so I don't think it's very worth. I've used it a few times and it hasn't seemed worth to me. I don't think it's F tier. I'd probably put D tier. I don't think it's as bad as these two towers. You know what I'm saying? Monkeyopolis. Now, Monkeyopolis 100% would have been F tier before the update, guys, because it was actually less efficient than just going for normal farms. However, now it's definitely more efficient. It's hard to find maps where Monkeyopolis is actually useful because there's not a lot of maps where you can get like 3, 4, 5, or even more BRFs in range pretty easily. But I wouldn't say it's bad anymore. You know, I wouldn't say it's bad. I would say it's definitely a useful upgrade if you have like Bomb Village Farm or something. That's another thing about it. You have to have Village and Farm in the same loadout, which only gives you one attacking tower when you have trying to go for Monkeyopolis. So that's another thing that kind of hinders its rating here. I think C is probably a appropriate place for this. What is this? Blue Incineration? I've never seen someone use this upgrade in a game before, I'll be honest with you guys. The only time I might have seen someone use this in a game is probably Super John Bombo. So I don't know how good it is, but to my knowledge, Mortar 5th tiers are not that good. That's just to my knowledge. I don't know though. Probably F or D. I'll give it a D tier. I might move it F. I don't know. Master Bomber. Oh, dude. Master Bomber. Fan-freaking-tastic tower. If you get 10 Shinobi buffs on it, it does pretty good bad damage, has a pretty much perma-stall for ZOMGs and below, and can throw the sticky bomb on like everything. Like, if they send you all out ZOMGs, every single one of those ZOMGs is basically going to have a sticky bomb that does more damage than a normal sticky bomb on it. It's an amazing tower. This is S tier for sure. Master Bomber is 100% an S tier, 5th tier. What is this? Elite Defender? It's decent. I mean, I've used it before with like Boat Village Sniper and stuff. It's definitely decent. I wouldn't say it's great though. Like, I would say Cripple and Elite Sniper are both better 5th tiers than it for its price, for sure. Both give better utility and stuff. We're probably going to go C tier on this one. Probably C tier on Elite Defender here. Permaspike? Permaspike I don't even see very often either. If you have Spectre in your loadout, you're probably going for Carpet Spikes and Supermines these days, especially with the Supermines buff. Permaspike used to be useful a little bit with people going Boat Auxpack, but I don't really see people going for Permaspike anymore. So I'm going to C tier on Permaspike as well here. What is this? Legend of the Night? It's like, it's so expensive and it's got a really small niche. Like, the only scenario where Legend of the Night is useful is late game, like extremely late game. If you have a loadout with tons of money, like Dartling Super Farm, pretty much the only loadout where you can really use it probably, and you're about to like leak a bad balloon. It's like only one bad balloon and there's nothing behind it, you know? Because then you can use Legend of the Night ability. Besides that, it's pretty trash because it's better just to spam other Dark Knights or Dark Champions for popping power purposes, or other towers. So I think due to that reason, I'm probably going to put it, the one scenario, definitely, it can be good in that scenario, Someone used it against me in one of my games, and it was actually really impressive defend, but then they died later. But I'm going to put it D tier for now. Tack Zone. Tack Zone is phenomenal tower, definitely the best 5th tier tower on the Tack shooter. used in Tack Ice Village, used in Tack Ice Farm. It's pretty much the premier Tack upgrade. Now, I don't know if it deserves S tier. I might move it to S later, but I'm gonna put it A tier for now. A tier for now, because I think the reason why Tack Zone is so good sometimes is because the tower is like super brittle, which we'll get to later, you know? Next one is Prince of Darkness. Prince of Darkness is probably the best upgrade for the Wizard, I would say. Wizard is not really a very popular tower, nor a good tower. But Prince of Darkness is probably the premier 5th tier upgrade on it, because it gives you DAT popping power, and it also got a buff in the recent update where it can spawn zombie BFBs. I'm gonna put it C, but I'm gonna put it ahead of these. Oh, I think later in the game, later in the tier list also, I'm gonna move like the towers around a little bit, you know what I'm saying? What is this, Total Transformation? Total Transformation is actually really cracked. People use it with like Heli, Ninja, Alchemist, and if you have the Shinobi buffs on ninjas with the Total Transformation, it actually does an insane amount of damage. It's one of the best late game defenders for sure. So I think Total Transformation definitely deserves an A tier here. This is Monkeynomics. Monkeynomics is definitely the worst 5th tier tower for 5th tier upgrade on this farm. People would barely ever use it. The only scenario really uses is if I have like infinite money, because it produces more money than a BRF obviously, and for space efficiency it's better than a BRF. But yeah, I think it probably goes. I think it's still better than these D tier towers. I think it probably goes C here. C. What is this, mob elimination? You probably bring this in your bomb loads if you're going late game, right? And I'd say it's better than bomblets. I say it still gets outclassed by Bloon Crush, but I think probably B tier is probably where you put the mob elimination here. We got Permacharge. Permacharge is probably the best 5th tier upgrade on the Boomerang. I'm not gonna lie. If you're getting a 5th tier upgrade on the Boomerang, Permacharge is definitely the one you're gonna get, but it's still not very good. Like, you're not really gonna go for a Permacharge like in any scenario with Boomerang. So I think probably D tier. I'm not gonna put F tier, but I think D tier. MAD. MAD is a fantastic upgrade for Dartling. Really good against bad balloons. It can stack really well with overclock and stuff on it, ultra boost, homeland defense, stuff like that. So I think MAD is probably an S tier upgrade, right? Plasma Monkey Fan Club is great. It has like 20 something monkeys. It's kind of expensive to micro, and you have to pair it with a debuff for it to be really strong. So you have to pair it with like a cripple or a super brittle for it to actually be worth most of the time. So I don't think it's as good as Tack Zone for its price and stuff. I think it probably gets outclassed by these other ones. I probably have to work with the in letter what's called ranking. I'll probably do that at the end, because lots of this stuff is not really in the order I'd put it. Spirit of the Forest, people pretty much never use this with Druid. People use the other two 5th tiers all the time, but Spirit of the Forest is definitely looked over. The only scenario where you want to use it is if you're trying to rejuvenate lives to pretty much get to max lives for around 40, but then if you're doing that, your Avatar of Wrath and everything loses its speed buff, and it's not very good. So for that reason, Spirit of the Forest might honestly be an F tier. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's not good. No one ever uses it. It's just, I don't know. I think it's still better. Well, no. It's probably better than some of these D tier towers actually. What is this, Ultra Boost? Ultra Boost had its say. When Dartling NG Heli was so popular, Ultra Boost was being used sometimes, but still not that much because it's so expensive, and it's only really worth if you can get a ton of stacks on your tower, so you have to get it pretty early as well. So I'm probably gonna put B tier. Like, it's good if you can get it early and stack a bunch of them on like an MAD or something, but it's really hard to find an instance where you can do that actually, you know what I'm saying? I think this is Glue Strike. Basically a worse version of Icicle Impale. Not Icicle Impale, worse version of Super Brittle. It does help the damage over the entire map, but it's a usable ability that you have to micro first off. It only does +2 damage instead of +5 or +4, +5 like the Cripple or Super Brittle. And so for that reason, I think we'll put C tier. I might move it to B later. Special Operations, it gives you the little Marine guy, which can actually be good at defending these UMGs and stuff. I've seen my boy, this one guy named Your Dunk or whatever. He makes a bunch of Heli Ace Village videos, and he defends UMGs using this, and it's actually pretty good at that. And the reason is, when you upgrade to this guy, it doesn't only give you the Marine, it also doubles the production of the Heli, like crates. So it's also a farming tower in it. So obviously, it's not as efficient as a farm as the support Chinook, but it's kind of a 2-for-1 there. So I'll put it C. I'll put C. No, B, I mean. Absolute 0. If you have ice in your tower, if you have ice in your loadout, you definitely have Icicle Impale down, which is just a tower that stalls everything. You don't have to micro an ability. So I'd definitely say this upgrade is not really used that much, nor it's good. You can also go for Snowstorms, which does a pretty good stall anyways, and it costs like nothing in comparison. I'd say Absolute Zero might honestly be D tier. Yeah. Zarbomba. Zarbomba is definitely the premier upgrade of the Ace. It can one-shot fortified DDTs for a while. It can perma-stun ZOMGs and do decent damage against them. Really good with the new ZOMG send as well. If you're bringing Ace, you're probably using this in your loadout late game for sure. Yeah, I think Zarbomba is definitely a B tier upgrade. Pirate Lord has the ZOMG pull, which makes it so you basically don't want to send fortified ZOMGs against boat. It also makes it so you can pretty much defend any round 22, round 24 all out with boat pretty easily. Definitely one of the best upgrades with boat. So it helps out boat Alchemist a ton in boat loadouts altogether. Now, is it as good as these A tier upgrades is the question. Is it as good as a Druid? I don't think so. I think it's definitely B tier, but I don't think it's as good as a lot of these upgrades up there. Preemptive Strike. I haven't seen people use Preemptive Strike after the update changes. It was buffed a lot. Like the Preemptive Strike ability comes, I mean like the first strike ability when you get it comes back faster and does more damage and stuff. So it was buffed a lot, but I still don't see people ever use it. But I don't know how good, I don't know how strong it is. And for that reason, I don't think I can give it F tier, but I think I'll give it D tier. Homeland Defense. Oh, this is like the premier 5th tier of the village. If you're rocking village, guys, you've got to get a Homeland Defense down, because this makes all your towers attack at double speed, have double pierce as well. So essentially your towers have 400% more popping power when this is active, which is crazy to think about. So Homeland Defense 100%, I think it might be S tier tower. I think it might honestly be an S tier tower. Pop and Awe, I think. I think I've seen Asian Sensation use this as like once in his video. He like micro does his stun stuff. But I think that's like the only time I've seen someone use a Pop and Awe. No idea how good this is. I'll just put it in D tier for now. I don't know. In my mind, Mortar kind of sucks. That's just where I'm from. Grand Saboteur. The thing is, you have to predict it. Like, I guess you could, if they're sending like a BAD all out, you probably have a Grand Saboteur up, and then after they send you like the first one or whatever, you just use the ability, and the other ones are damaged. But yeah, I'd say so. Since you can't like use it while they're on the map and damage them, since you have to predict, I'm probably gonna put it A tier. But if you could use it on the map and damage them, it'd definitely be S tier. But it's a really good upgrade for sure. Elite Sniper. This is definitely, oh, this is amazing. It's a really good farming tower. One of the most efficient farming towers in the game, because it gives you like it's equivalent to 750 eco, and it can defend pretty much every balloon rush early game, right? So because of that, this is 100% an A tier, 5th tier. 100% A tier, 5th tier. Elite Sniper right there. Carpet of Spikes. Great BAD damage. Uses a passive ability to throw spikes all over the map. This is A or B tier here. It's pretty good buff by the Alchemist as well, because the Alchemist gives it extra mob damage and everything per spike. If it's buffed by the Alchemist, I'd say A tier, but if it's not buffed by the Alchemist, I'd say B tier. I'm gonna put it B tier, but high up. We'll do that. Anti-balloon. It's really good. Like, I used it the other day at defending a ZOMG all out, because it's really good with its ability, like hitting multiple ZOMGs and stuff. So with the new ZOMG set, that definitely helps the anti-balloon quite a bit. But other than that, it's probably better to spam 3rd and 3rd tier Dark Knights or whatever if you have Super Monkey in your loadout in most cases. So I'd say it's not really usable in a lot of cases. It's actually probably better than Special Poppereish. Well, Tsar Bomb was much better than Anti-Balloon actually. So Tsar Bomb was 100% better than Anti-Balloon, I'd say. So C tier. Super Maelstrom. Super Maelstrom, I only really see Super Maelstrom being used with Tack Wizard Farm, and it's really good defending the insides of the ZOMG. Like BFBs and below from the ZOMG, it can defend those really well. So it's actually a really efficient ZOMG defend. I don't think it's not as good as Tack Zone, 100%, but I'd say it's probably B tier for that reason. Wizard Lord Phoenix. I barely ever see someone using this at all, if ever. So I don't think it's as bad as these two F tier towers, but I'd say it's probably somewhere in the D tier. 100%. Perma-Brew is great if you have Alchemist in your loadout. It's pretty much essential with Ninja Heli Alchemist and other, well, I guess with boat SPAC, people don't really use Perma-Brew that much because you have slow producing towers and stuff, but we'll go A tier on it. Banana Central. This is, I don't know if it's better than the Monkey Wall Street still. Like, I go for the Monkey Wall Street first still in a lot of cases. Banana Central is definitely up there. I'd say it's A tier just with Monkey Wall Street for sure. Balloon Crush. Balloon Crush is the premier upgrade for the bomb shooter. Pretty much a perma-stun for ZOMGs, DDTs, all that stuff. You can pierce cap it, but you have to send kind of a lot to pierce cap it. I think it's better than Icicle. Well, it doesn't have camo detection, but it can stun more. Like, it has a better stun than Icicle and Pale. So, Balloon Crush, I think it's going to be A tier. Glaive Lord, F tier automatically. You're trash. Get out of here. What's your point in this game? Ray of Doom. Definitely I'll classify their 5th tier upgrades on the Super Monkey. With the new ZOMG Constant Send, I could maybe see it being used against all-out ZOMGs if you have Dartling Ninja Farm or something. Not really used that much, but it could have a use with the new update. So we'll go C tier on it. Ultra Juggernaut. It's used sometimes with Dart Monkey, right? Like it has a use. It's not. I don't think it's used near as much as Plasma Monkey Fan Club, nor as good, but definitely has a use against ceramics from a ZOMG Rush or something else. You know. Let's put U-Jug in C tier here. Superstorm. Superstorm is fantastic, guys. If you have 5 stacks on that guy, nothing is getting through a Superstorm pretty much. Even after they nerfed it, I still see nothing get through a Superstorm. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have never. If I rush someone with like BEDs or something, I have never seen a Superstorm with the max health buff and the max speed buff from the Druids died inside the bads. I haven't. So that's going S tier. It's going S tier. Definitely the best cleanup tower in the entire game, I'd say. Sentry Champion, I have never really used this upgrade. Other than for a meme inside of a game, I never think it's worth. And if you're going Engineer, you're probably not going to get it up. You're going to get Triple XL and you're going to get Ultra Boost, maybe. Or just use Overclocks. I think Sentry Champion might honestly be F. The thing is, I feel like I've seen all these other ones in a game actually against me. You know what I'm saying? I've seen all these other upgrades be used in a game against me. I don't think I've seen this one being used. This might go F tier. Bloon. Is this Bloon Solver or Bloon Liquefier? I think it's called Bloon Solver. I don't really know much about it, to be honest with you guys. I do not know much about it. However, I've seen people use it with the strategy sub, glue, and boomerang. And it's actually pretty good. It's like around 24 all outs and stuff. If you just have boomerangs to stall and you have one of these guys down, I'd say it's definitely better than some of these towers. I'd probably put it C tier, maybe. Yeah, right around C tier seems good. Apache Prime. Apache Prime is great for Ninja Heli Alchemist. It's great for Heli Ice Village. Great for Heli loadouts if you have some sort of damage buff or debuff on the map. Apache Prime's probably an A tier. Super Brittle. Super Brittle. Hands down, 100% the best debuff in the game. I don't care what you guys say about Cripple. I don't care what you guys say about Glue Storm. Super Brittle, it's amazing, guys. It's amazing. They've nerfed it before. I think they price nerfed it, but it's still absolutely amazing. You can get the range upgrade on it to give it bigger range. You can get if you have Villaging loaded, which like Tack Ice Village, you get even bigger range on it. Plus 4 damage inside the range, pretty much maximum uptime on stuff. That's an S tier tower for sure. Super Brittle. 100% S tier. Sky Shredder, I've never used this upgrade before. I've seen people use it with Ace Alch sub on like ports. I think it can defend DDTs. I think it's the DDT defense if you have Ace in your loader. I'm not sure though, don't quote me on that. I'm gonna bring it to C tier. I don't know about flying. Carrier Flagship. Carrier Flagship's actually pretty decent. If you have like Boat, Sniper Village with the Cripple debuff and the Homeland buff, Carrier Flagship actually shreds stuff pretty well. Like it's sort of a slept on tower, guys. It's sort of slept on tower. Now, is it A tier with all these other things? Probably not. I'd say it's B tier. Energizer. Energizer is barely ever used. Sometimes people use it with Druid just to get the abilities back faster, but that's like the only scenario. It costs quite a bit for it to be worth to get the abilities back faster, because you need like, I think if like people have done the math on it, you need like 30 Druid farms or more for the Energizer to be worth, and then you only get it up for like a little bit. It's only for like a high money game. That's like the only scenario we're gonna get Energizer to. So for that reason, it does help though. I guess you could use it with a bomb sub farm as well. Bomb sub farm to get your bomb abilities back faster maybe. B or C here. We'll go B tier. Primary expertise. It's good for Tack Ice Village. It's good for Bomb Village Farm. It's not great though. I don't think it's amazing. Like, it helps your towers, but your towers get helped a lot just by the primary mentoring upgrade before it already, you know what I'm saying? So I think we will keep it B tier here. Biggest one, I have the biggest one, that's what all the girls say, but I barely ever see this upgrade being used unless your name is Super John Bombo, then you adore the biggest one every single day of the week. We'll probably put it D tier with all the other 5th tier mortars, just because that's where I put them as well. Grandmaster Ninja, this tower is great if you have a debuff on the map or if you have an alch buff. Grandmaster Ninja is fan-freaking-tastic. With Dartling Ninja Farm, you don't really use this because you don't have a debuff or anything like that, but Heli Ninja Alchemist Grandmaster is fantastic, so I'm gonna put it A. Definitely not better than Master Bomber, but it's still pretty good. Cripple. Cripple is definitely, if you have Sniper in your loadout, you're definitely going for a Cripple. 100%. Really good debuff. 100% it's outclassed by Super Brittle. There's no doubt about that. Super Brittle outclasses Cripple, but it's still really good. I'm putting Cripple as A tier. Super Mines. Super Mines, the newly buffed Super Mines that everyone has made 10 videos on. Where do I put this guy? I think A tier. It's a solid upgrade, guys. Like $100,000, it's expensive for sure, but it's good. Like if people are using Boat Alch's back, they pretty much always go for Super Mines now with the Alch buff, and it shreds. This is like the premier upgrade of the Spike Factory now, I think. So let's put it A tier. True Sun God. I'll be honest, guys. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. True Sun God's kind of dog water. Like, I've made some videos on it, and I've used it before, and like, it's cool if you get it up, but the thing about the True Sun God is you need to get pretty much max stacks on it, and alone it's not even good. The main purpose of the True Sun God is actually a support tower to make all your other towers do more damage. And there's like 0 scenarios where you can actually get it up with a max support sacrifice and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it goes F tier. It goes F tier. I'm not gonna lie. Inferno Ring. I've barely used this tower in my life. Whenever I've used it, it seems pretty trash. However, with the new packed ZMG send, it might have somewhat of a use. So I don't want to give it a harsh rating because I haven't seen how it does against that. But I definitely don't think it's as good as Tack Zone or Super Maelstrom. I'm probably going C tier probably. And last one is Archmage. Archmage, I don't know about Archmage. It's pretty bad as well, I think. It's pretty bad as well. It's bad as Wizard Lord Phoenix though. I'd probably put a D tier as well. Okay, cool. So I have everything ranked now, and give me a few seconds and I'm just gonna, do I want to move towers around? Yeah, I'm gonna move towers around a little bit inside the tiers and see kind of where I want to place them. So give me a second on that one. Okay, moving, I'm lying, guys. Moving them inside the tiers is actually way too hard on my brain. I think this is just gonna be my final list here. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you like my list here? Let me zoom out actually a little bit because the list actually got a little bit too big, I just realized. So do you guys like my list? What would you change? Let me know in the comment section down below. Should I make another one with the towers all together and not the upgrades? But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please like button, subscribe button with your forward. Road to 100k. I'm out. Peace, lads.